Good morning, afternoon and or evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Game and I'm back with something for My Games Lounge. Sorry if we've been away for a while actually, but I've not been well, Ross has been busy, and it's one of those things, but there are too many games coming out now for us to ignore. So, I'm going to delete these two saves here. Today we're playing Brutal by Stormcloud Games, and I've been playing this for a little bit because I enjoy my roguelike kind of things, and I have conflicted thoughts on this game because this game is really good. It's enjoyable. The rinse and repeat kind of thing has its ups and downs. Anyway, let's just get into it. Who am I gonna pick? Yeah, go for the warrior. I like the warrior because you start off with free specials, and they can be quite helpful when you start off in the world with nothing. So you get thrown into the game with nothing to begin with. As you can see, the loading times, they're not egregiously long, but they're longer than I've been used to in these kind of games recently. But it's all... I know nothing about ASCII, but I realise that a big part of the thing is the fact that the world's made up of, I believe, you know, ASCII code and all that business. Anyway, you can double jump. Use your special with L1 and R1 together. This is on the PS4, bearing in mind. Just gonna break things. You break things, you get experience, and you level up as you go. Here we go. Got a couple of chests. What's in you? Hey, key. I like me a key. And pizza. Because your hunger bar, which is the orange bar on the top right, goes down. You gotta eat. Bring it on, punk. Alright, took him down. As you can see, specials are fun to use, they knock enemies over. You got your standard special for your unarmed moves, but you do have a skill tree where we can... Let's have a look. There you go. So when I level up, you can kind of go into these different areas and find new special moves, increase your health, increase your special get some like mage abilities. The thing is, all four classes that you can choose from, they all have the same skill tree. There are things in this game that it could use more diversity between the classes. It could do with shorter loading times. I know it's what is it? Randomly generating the dungeons every time. I understand that, and that's a difficult thing to do. But you know, just a bit more variety. The weapons are cool though. Enchanting the weapons with different like poison or power or arcane abilities. They're pretty cool. You got these trees here that give you health. Fruits of Eden kind of thing, you know? Beat down these enemies. Anyway, your end goal is you get spawned into the area and you're looking for a trapdoor to make your way down to the next level. And as you go, you're just uncovering, you got the map here, you can see it pulls out. The way the map goes in and out like that's pretty cool. I like some of the transitions. Overall, I am enjoying the game. I've got a fair few of the trophies. I'm going to review it soon. But there are just a few things that kind of chip away at my enjoyment. You know, when you're playing it for extended periods of time, the loading screens between levels and like when you die, they start to become more apparent. Again, they're not egregiously long, but they're long enough for you to go, okay, I'm still waiting for this. All in all, definitely worth a play. I wouldn't disregard this game whatsoever. In fact, I think it's you kind of owe it to yourself if you enjoy roguelites to actually give this a go. But above anything else, the thing that kind of bothers me, as opposed to games like Rogue Legacy and, you know, Enter the Gungeon, is there's no persistent progression. Like, you progress in the game by leveling up and unlocking new skills, but it's not quite like, again, same Rogue Legacy where you would have... There we go, see, we've leveled up. And when you die, all those levels go away and you've got nothing to show for it. Which is fine, that's a roguelike, you know, that's how that works. But in games like Rogue Legacy and Enter the Gungeon, you can unlock things that you can use or will benefit you in later playthroughs. In my experience so far, that hasn't been the case for Brutal. Maybe there is something that I'm missing, feel free to point it out to me if I'm wrong, but I just don't like starting from zero every time. I like to feel like even when I die, I'm moving towards something. And that doesn't seem to be happening in Brutal. So as good as it is, as enjoyable as the gameplay is, and it's quite fluid, it's quite flexible, but yeah, it's just missing that hook to keep me going. When I die, I just think, oh, well, that's me. I've lost everything, and I guess I'm starting again if I really feel like it. So, from what I can tell by the trophies, there's 26 levels to get through. I've managed to get halfway down. You get a trophy for that, so yay for me. And you get armor as you go through. The armor perishes, your weapons perish as well. You know, everything's kind of perishable, so you do have to keep crafting. Do I have enough to craft anything yet? Let's have a look. So if you get a skill book, you can craft. Let's see. No, I don't have. So you collect letters that will allow you to craft the item, because the items are made up of letters. The ASCII code. And it's pretty cool. It's a really novel idea. Like, there are good parts to it, but again, just a few additions to it could make it really stand out, could make it last a lot longer. As it stands, it's a kind of game that maybe, if I was bored, I'd definitely run to it, but it's not something that I'd dive into for literally no reason. So speaking of diving into, we go to the next depth. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Here we're just loading up the next level. I imagine it's generating it, that's why it takes so long. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. But it doesn't have the same hooks as, again, Rogue Legacy or Enter the Gungeon or any other game of that kind. You know, you can see the differences in this game. Maybe this one's more true to the roguelike idea. But I guess maybe I prefer myself some roguelites rather than likes, you know. But that's just me. Again, having a lot of fun with it. Punching things, just gaining XP. Just sprinting around, trying to... I mean, I just got my trophy for speed running a level. That's good. Doing it in under 120 seconds. And I believe I actually took longer than that. Maybe there's something wrong with that trophy. I'm not sure. But here you can see these enemies are guarding. So, you know, you can guard with your shield as well. Like, guard at the right time and you'll negate the damage. If you generally guard, you'll still take damage, as you can see. But there's the dodge over the back. It's trying to get around their shields, but you can just knock them over. I tend to not worry too much about it. Get it. Again, it's also luck of the draw as well. The same thing that kind of not bothered me about Enter the Gungeon, but, you know, it could become a bit of a chore, is when you're hoping to get a weapon that's appropriate for your current class or your current skills that have unlocked, and they're not really working out. Because I haven't got a book that registers that way. Anyway, I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to eat. You can see him eating on the screen there. Also, if you have empty potion flasks, you can brew potions. There is a skill to find out what they are just by looking at them, but most of the time they'll randomly generate under different colours, and those colours will mean different things on each playthrough. There are things that change to keep it interesting. So, yes. So far, I would recommend Brutal as something you should play. There we go, got myself some new boots. I think we should kind of leave it there, because as far as I can see, there's no bosses. Enemies get more difficult, and you do get enchanted enemies and archers and stuff like that. These zombies can only be killed with fire enchanted things. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just drop a couple more of these. Pick up a key, be on my way. Actually, we'll finish it off once I get to a trapdoor. Or, you know, assuming that I cut this video short, thank you for watching, and bizzle, but I might actually carry this on. What's that? Pizza slice. Where are we going now? Ah, okay, you're right. My bad. Here we go. Ornate doors. There's a fire enchanted letter. Here are some poison enchanted enemies. See, now I'm poisoned because I didn't get out the way of that attack. Doesn't last too long though, so it's not too bad. This should be a treat. Yeah, I got my health back, baby. F. You, buddy. Come back to me, shield. I need you. Form the path. There we go. What's in here? Helmets. Could really do with a good weapon, but you know. Give me a helmet, why don't you? Oh, I missed a T. Mr. T. Let's go back. I just stepped on the spikes. What a fool. Jafoule. As you can see, it's an enjoyable game, you know. There's stuff to do. It'll keep you busy. I just wish that it had more of a progression that was consistent and helped you in your later playthroughs. But I guess that's not the point. It's all about leaderboards and all that kind of business, which aren't necessarily my ideal, you know, gameplay components. But I know they'll appeal to some people, so cool. That's all well and good. You can create your own dungeons as well, which I'm not going to go into in this playthrough. It's not, this is not like a tell-all kind of thing. You can find that on plenty of people's channels. I'm just having a mess about with it, as we normally do here at My Games Lounge. What am I missing? I'm missing a key. Do you know what? Now it's going to get boring when I look for this. So, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. I will now be covering this. I believe there's another game that's under embargo till Monday. And, of course, we're going to be playing some No Man's Sky whenever it turns up at the house. But, yeah, Brutal is a good game. Check them out, Stormcloud Games. And I'll have the review up, hopefully, by the end of this week. This is currently Wednesday, so by Friday. I've been David Game, this has been My Games Lounge, and you can look forward to more content from us in the future. Very near future this time, because I'm feeling a bit better. Bizzle!